Welcome back, guys. My name is Jerribee, and on this channel we talk all things architecture, real estate, and lifestyle. Now today I want to talk about the 5 things I hate about this office. And if you haven't seen this previous video of me setting up and reorganizing this office, click the link above. I suggest you guys watching that first. There I explain about why I organized my office in this manner, but there's still some things that I dislike. Number 1, the colors. So I touched on this on the last video, but honestly, we gotta dig back in. We gotta dig back into this, right? My room is blue. This used to be like a kid's room or something before I moved in, maybe a little boy's room. So it's a very, very light blue color. And obviously a lot of my artwork here is like red palette, things like that. So blue, red, it doesn't really match in the way that we're doing it right now. Not gonna lie, it's kind of rough. My color senses are just like, what's going on? Number 2, the desk depth. The depth is only 24 inches. So what I'm used to doing is having my computer here, which is actually right in front. Wow, right? And then I have my laptop like stand that goes over my keyboard, right? Because I need to be able to slide that keyboard up so that I can actually have space for a writing pad, so that I can draw, take notes, things like that. A lot of times I'll print out 11 by 17 size plans and have it right in front of me, and I'm referencing that as I do, revisions to plans for my clients. A lot of times I need to see the screen, I need to have access to my keyboard, my mouse, and have a giant, piece of paper in front of me. So therefore, I tend to want about 30 inches, 36 inches in depth for a computer desk. Now, this being 24 inches isn't the greatest, but it works. Number 3, I wish it was a stand-up desk. The firm that I worked for before going out my own, I had a stand-up desk. It was 6 feet wide, 3 feet deep, double monitors, and I found that I was going in and out of meetings all day, so I would just leave the stand-up desk in the standing position, and come back between meetings, or type a couple emails, walk back out, and that was actually super, super useful. So now I'm in this kind of like permanent seating position, which is alright. I'm still active. I'm home, so I can get up, grab a snack, or go out, meet a client. So I'm still active, but if I had to sit here for 8 hours, it'd be very tough for me. So I do wish I had the opportunity to stand up or sit down at the press of a button, because that was fantastic, let me tell you. Number 4 has to do with having 2 computers. I'm definitely a part of the Apple ecosystem. I have a MacBook Pro, I used to have an iMac, I have an iPhone, Apple TV, Apple Watch, like all that. I love it. I love the way it all works together, all that stuff. I consider myself a tech guy. However, there are some parts of my life that I just need to be simplified. It needs to just work, and Apple does that for me. However, for my day-to-day work operations, I really need a PC. Autodesk is the program, or is the company that I use to run all my programs, all my architecture programs, and they don't really have much support for Apple. So therefore, I really, really need my PC in that sense. So I have a gaming rig that I purchased already built, so I didn't build this thing at all. But I need both, that's the thing. So when it comes to storing files, right, transferring things, it gets kind of tricky. I use Google Drive a lot to transfer a lot of my files between laptop and PC. I'm starting to look into having a NAS, like a personal NAS system, that I could just centrally store things that I can access from both items. But that's one of the things that I kind of, it's tricky. I don't like fully hate it. It did make the list, just because it's a challenge that I have to deal with. But nonetheless, it's something that most people probably have to work through, right? Number 5 on this list is sound insulation. Yes, big boy. What? You okay? You okay? So you can see there's a little bit of a sound thing happening here. Since my office is inside my house, there's natural distractions that are just kind of a name of the game here, right? But for that reason, phone calls, filming a YouTube video, things like that, you know, people outside of this room could listen in and maybe become distracted, and then vice versa. Right now, my kids are running down the hallway. I could hear every footsteps. I could hear them playing with the Legos and the cars on the wall, right? Because they're kids. But that's one of those things that, like, if I did want to have you know, some privacy, it's hard to do because of the, you know, the lack of insulation in these walls. So, which kind of brings me to one of my points. As a developer, that's one thing that I really strive on creating for when it comes to residential and commercial spaces. My biggest thing as a landlord, as a developer, is to create a space that, you know, can have a private environment if needs to, right? Literally, you don't want to hear anything that's not in your atmosphere at that moment in time because it's a distraction. Those are the 5 things that follow my list. Let me know what you guys think about those 5 items. If you agree, if you disagree with those items, I'd love to hear what you think you dislike about your office and your space. So comment below if you want to share that information with me. I'd love to comment back or film a different video on those responses. Like this video if you enjoyed this content. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like always, I'll see you next video.